What is up, everyone? It is another day, another chance for me to spew some thoughts about Ashes of Creation. So Intrepid says November is when real marketing for Ashes of Creation begins. Is it too soon? Because let's be honest, Alpha 2 is still rough. Bugs, balance swings, missing systems. We've moved from mostly community-driven buzz to the verge of paid ads and a broader campaign. That's exciting and risky. In MMORPG land, marketing usually means we're close. Think New World, Lost Ark, Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy XIV's relaunch. Studios don't light money on fire until they want pre-orders, beta signups, or a date. But Ashes is different. It's still openly alpha, and yet the website reads like a glossy feature list right now. Node evolution, PvX, gameplay, artisan systems, caravans, mounts, world bosses. It looks finished. It isn't. During the September dev stream, Steven said more testers means more feedback, more bugs found, more iteration. He first called it a product, then corrected to test environment, saying it's now at a place where players can see the long-term intent and they need a voice. He talked about litmus testing systems outside of the golden cohort, aka reaching a less engaged audience, and wanting that info sooner rather than later because those players are an important part of ensuring the game's success. He added you can only reach those individuals through marketing, and that they've done as much as possible with grassroots. I hear the logic, broader testing, different perspectives, early signal from casuals. But here's the friction point. Who is this for if alpha access costs $100? The people willing to pay that just to test a broken half of the time MMO? You've already captured most of them. The game's been purchasable for 8 years. The MMO PvP crowd knows the name. YouTube is saturated. Just look, Asmongold, Lazy Peon, DOS Drive Haze, Pirate Software, Quinn, and more. Hundreds of thousands to millions of views. Even on TikTok, my own weekends of streaming bring thousands asking about Ashes, and most bounce the second they hear $100. So again, who are we expecting to capture in November? Best case, you grab a small new slice of testers. More likely, you net casual players who don't understand alpha, have a bad time, refund it, and then spread negative word of mouth. Will that feedback actually exceed what the golden cohort has already been giving? Because a lot of your core feels unheard already. And if the goal is to represent less engaged voices, fair, but will those folks really show up behind a $100 paywall? For years, the message has also been, maybe this game isn't for you. How big do we think the open world PvP MMO audience really is in 2025? I also push back on the test environment is in a place where you can see the long-term intent. So much isn't working or isn't in yet. Plenty who followed Ashes for 8 years still don't grasp the full picture. Not because they're not listening, but because communication has been inconsistent and follow-through uneven. What exactly are we litmus testing for a less engaged audience right now that isn't entangled with unfinished systems? Which systems are isolated enough to yield clean, actionable data? Case in point, the recent Summoner showcase, short, static bursts, no live gameplay. Then PTR notes land and half the kit's broken. That's fine for alpha, but marketing that moment? We've heard ad spend, so think Google, YouTube, Meta, TikTok, X, and possibly spinning up the creator program to sync with the push. That could work if the pitch is radically honest. This is testing, not launch. Servers are 24/7, but you're here to break things and give feedback. Systems like nodes, caravans, PvX, crafting are work in progress. If the tome turns into glossy launch trailer energy, expectations will explode and so will refunds. 2 quick trust levers. Refunds. Is the 90-day refund policy staying? It needs to if you're widening the funnel. If it quietly disappears during the ad push, that's not a great look. Skins. Reintroducing the cosmetic store might actually land better than ads. But first, ship the backlog before selling new ones, please. Also, here's a genuine question. What if you drop the price of alpha and beta access? Would that upset the current testing crowd? Or would lowering the gate align better with the get broader feedback goal? Please be crystal clear in whatever ads you put out. What am I buying? Right now, the site markets what to expect, like a feature page, and the servers are always on, which feels like a game, not a test. Spell it out, no fine print, and actually use the words test and tester. That's not on your current webpage. We've seen what happens when long public testing and early marketing drains curiosity before launch. Look at Crowfall. By the time it launched, anyone who cared had already tested, gotten a mid-experience, and moved on. Don't burn the audience before beta. This can work if November's messaging is authentic. Show real alpha footage, jank and all, not some polished demo. Lead with the vision, nodes, PVX, dynamic world, artisan economy, the stuff that truly makes Ashes different. Emphasize community iteration and player-driven development. Explain what those are. Keep the refund policy. Consider a temporary lower buy-in or free test weekends with clear goals. Then you're building trust, not just traffic. So November's marketing push, it's a real gamble. It could be potentially the smartest move Intrepid's made, planting seeds early and sustaining momentum to 2026. Or possibly more likely it risks alienating curious MMORPG players who expect polish and not prototype. Because in this genre, marketing isn't just ads, it's trust, timing, and clarity. So when the floodgates open, people stick. I have to say, I am very worried about the idea of marketing right now. I'm not sure it's going to go well. I'm also not an employee of Intrepid. So all we can do right now is trust your judgment and hopefully help support you through whatever comes in November and December. Now, a few questions to you watching. Who do you think this campaign actually reaches at $100? Would you support dropping the price or doing free test events? And should they maybe publish results afterwards, or potentially just give us a better, more current idea of what the server capacities have been and how many players are actually logging in? As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.